we're just going to log in and make a monk. Since Dragon Disciple is new, let's do that one. I am going to build it kind of like I would build my Dragon Lord. So we'll do a drow. And this thing is like a fighter magic user that's tied to wisdom, right? So wisdom is our main stat. The thing about monks, though, they're kind of really hard to build because we also need to have dexterity, and I think if I'm hitting stuff, I probably don't want like a strength debuff. So unfortunately, I can't get my con any higher. My dex technically should be like 16. I'm just afraid, like on a normal monk, I would probably do something like this. Like if I were making a normal monk, if this were like a hardcore season and I were making a monk, likely I would do these as my starting stats because you want a little bit of everything, right? I just don't know if this class needs to have spellcaster DCs. I know that they said it's all tied to wisdom, but it may be that DCs don't matter for spell damage. I mean, obviously you want stuff to not make it saving throw, but I think we should probably stick with this for now and then see if there's something wrong with this. Because this is sort of more normal. Like you want a 14 con at least for just about any character. Con is not a dump stat, so having 12 is like really low. And then dex is something that we want on this character. The other argument, because they made it tied to strength, is that we could dump dex and go with the 16 strength, although on a drow I can't get 16, I could get a 14. So we'll see. We're just going to experiment. We definitely need concentration as a monk because that helps our key generation, right? We want a little bit of jump. I want 1 point in tumble, at least 1 point in tumble. I want some UMD because I put UMD on all my characters. I don't care about search or spot. I could, if I had if this were a TR and I had a bunch of points, I could take 1 point per form just to have it open. But the average player doesn't need to do that. We do need to have spellcraft because we're doing elemental damage. So we do need to have that. And balance. Okay, so I want to have balance. So I'm just going to do 1 point in jump and then 2 points in balance because if I decide to do single weapon fighting, I need to have balance. I need to have points in balance to do single weapon fighting. Now, whether or not that's the best way to go about a build for this, it is an option. You can either do hand wraps. You can do 2 weapon fighting, which is really good. You could do single weapon fighting, which I think is also really good. Or you could do 2-handed, like a quarterstaff or something like that. For now, that's just how we're going to lay it out. And so you can see, I can decide right now, am I going to do 2 weapon or am I going to do single weapon? We definitely want to take one of these right now. They're yellow, so they count as a class feat. So we can get 2. So normally what I would do for my build, although I did not put any points in charisma, if I were on a TR and I had extra points, I probably would in order to do the do single weapon fighting with the Fey sword. You can also do it with 2 weapon fighting as well. So I would do something like this. I'll do 2 weapon fighting and then I'm almost positive that this class has access to magic, basic magic, which is a massive W. That means that I don't need to take it on this character because I'm already considered a spellcaster. So I will automatically have access to my Fade Arc tree. So kind of probably what I want to do, because I'm doing spell damage, is maximize or empower here. However, I could also do Stunning Fist, which would key off of my Wisdom mod. And I'm pretty sure now, it says it's a tactical hand wrap, swift attack, but I'm almost positive that it says you must be wearing hand wraps to use that. So I'm not going to try. I thought you could use it with the Phase Sword. Yeah, you get magical training on Dragon Disciple. Yes, so that's good. Don't need anything down here. So it looks like probably the best thing that I could do. I should probably, just for testing purposes, but it does not look like they updated this stunning blow text. But my understanding is now that this is considered a tactical melee attack, and it uses either strength, wisdom, or dexterity for a monk. I'm almost positive. Let's actually just take a look and see what it says here, since we're in the middle of like going through this now. So Quivering Palm uses strength. Stunning Fist uses the highest strength, dex, or whiz, but you still have to be using hand wraps. Unarmed Strike gives 5 melee. But is there anything here about... So it doesn't look like it. So maybe I misunderstood what I read. All right, so let's go back. So we'll just ignore that for now. I think what I'm going to do, because I'm a spellcaster, is try this out. This may be like something that's dumb to take, but we're going to try it. So here's my spell book. That's so weird. And all these are considered ranger, like ranger spells, and you can see they kind of look like that. I want the one that looks like, yeah, that one. I like that one. He looks like a ninja. We're going lawful neutral. I don't like the extra damage you take from the lawful good, so lawful neutral. And then, so we're gonna do monk, and then this is a dragon disciple, right? So this is our test. I'm probably not gonna keep this character, but we'll give it a try. Do we want to see how this plays? So what I'm gonna do is use my veteran status 2 to start at level 7. It's a little confusing though, because am I considered a spellcaster? Okay, I don't see it here. No. Let's see, am I a specialist? No. So it is just monk. I learned the ways of monk. Okay. I have 4 points. We're gonna max concentration. I decided to go with 2-weapon fighting instead of single-weapon fighting, so I don't need to put any more points in balance. I'm gonna max spellcraft. I'm gonna keep putting points in UMD just because I always do. So the last point I have left over is going into jump. And then here I get evasion, meditation, and a good one for me to take, probably dodge, is a really good idea because eventually I could do spring attack, which is really cool. Precision is another good choice for me here. I don't really want to do evoke, although you can. Finesse is dexterity. I don't need to worry about that. I'm probably going to do precision. Although having that movement buff, like, I just want to basically take a look and see, because monk has a movement buff built into it, but they may have got rid of it. I don't think that they did, because it's tied to monk itself, but and this may be the worst monk build ever. It's just me like going off of what I would do to build like a regular monk. So I have to pick one of these. I'm gonna go with Harmonious just because I used to use that for a heal. Looks like I can take Zen Archery if I wanted to do, like, I could probably switch my thrower build to like a Horizon Walker or something like that. So that might be what I do. I'm going to have to think about it and take a look at it. I probably want Quicken as a caster. That will keep me from getting interrupted, but also will allow me to just blast it out faster. I think maybe that'll help us. Because the other way I'm leaning, like I can always take that and benefit from it. I'm thinking I go dodge, mobility, and then spring attack. But I think for right now, I'm going to take Quicken. Now, I could be building it completely stupid, but like I said, we're trying. We're going to focus on wisdom because that's our main stat as a caster. So I'm like trying to think about it as like a fighter magic user. I'm just going to keep pushing jump as my last point. And then this is starting to look good. Okay, so I have 5 jump. That's great. Got all this other stuff. Monk is so cool. Monk is really, really fun. They used to be super, super tough. Like really, you could solo raids with a monk when they first came out. So this is some of the new stuff here. So I can take Adaptive Wind. These are the old stances, right? Rock, Rain. We're familiar with those. I can take Adaptive Form. I'm pretty sure that has been in the game where it basically just increases. But it looks like here it says improves your elemental stances to learn new elemental strikes. So it sounds like I do want that. I just don't know. Oh, these are all granted. Okay, so I don't have to pick them. That's good to know. So I still have to come in here and pick. So I think I'm going to do exactly what I've said to you guys a couple times. I'm going to take dodge, and then we're going to take mobility, and that will flag us for spring attack. As long as I have these stats to be able to do it. It's possible that my dexterity is not high enough to do spring attack, in which case then I just made a bricked character and I would need to remake it. But off the top of my head, that's kind of what I wanted to try to do. All right, this is the Dragon Disciple tree. Ninja. Right here, I can see if my thrower is dead or not. Because right here on core 2. Oh, no, it's not. It's not. While you're centered, you can use your dexterity modifier for damage. You gain double shot equal to your dexterity score while wielding a shuriken. Okay, so I can still do my thrower build. That's great. I thought when I read it in the notes for Lamagna that they got rid of that, but they didn't. They just basically changed the way everything else works. But they kept those cores. That's super cool. So now I just have to see if I can keep my thrower, and if Dragon Disciple will allow me to make that thrower build any stronger. I don't think so, because all this stuff is pretty much keyed around melee and casting spells. And this, I'm just basically doing range damage on my thrower, but we'll see. So I might be wrong if there's one of you guys out there is a monk expert, but I'm pretty sure Shintao is like the hand wrap build. Although it looks like now they made it more generic. Like this is just +1 attack damage when centered. So this is just going to basically boost our melee damage. It looks like all these are just melee strikes. That gives us double shot or double strike, which is fine. So it looks like I could use this for my 2-weapon attack. This here focuses on like sneak attack, extra damage to helpless. All right, but for right now, we're gonna ignore this stuff. I might use it later, and we need to... Okay, we've got Fade Arc. All right, so we're gonna do these 3. The other thing I need to make sure I do is eat all this junk that I have in my... change my game. I always alter these. I'm gonna turn them all on, but I don't need the... Yeah, I want the experimental tumble, but I don't actually want the little meter that's under me there. So I'm going to turn that off. I used to run with that on, but I decided I didn't want to see it anymore. Oh, it looks like it's right there. Is that the biggest text I can do? 20? Yeah. What's a good color for this dude? Dragon. Let's do red. Yeah. And then I want my network status. Yep. So it's right there. I can see my connection. I always recommend turning that on. Lock shortcut. Show guild member. I don't need to see. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's check and see what feats I have that I can pin. So there's my auto attack. So if I need to click on auto attack, I can. I can click it on right there. That's why I pin it. I don't usually. I always pin dismiss charms too. There's our precision. So now it's on. I definitely want these. So let's move. So it looks like I already have them. Don't need defensive fighting. I will keep my meta magic there. My stances, we're not sure what stance we're going to be in. But because wisdom is our main stat, we might go into water just because. But usually when I'm like leveling up on a normal monk, I'm running around in wind, generally. But I'm pretty sure if we activate water, our wisdom is going to go up. Yeah, so it just went up to 19. So like, we'll see. For right now, though, I'll do what I normally do, and we'll just run around in wind. We're almost ready to start buying stuff here, so... Looks like there's no actives here, although I do get meditation, so I'm going to put that there. I do want to activate slow fall, so there's slow fall. And then it looks like they do have, like, finisher attacks, or what they would be called... Oh no, those are just the stances. Those aren't attacks. Okay, so I already have those right here. Okay, let's take wholeness of body. We'll put that there too. Okay, that looks good. I'll have to read through these and see if there's any synergies that I'm not aware of, but just off the cuff here. Alright, we have spell slots. Necrobotanist, good to see you. Deadbeat Dadcourt, good to see you. Nice. Did we level up? That's cool. I'm thinking I want to try... Like, I have to try these, right? Like, this looks really cool. So let's do the Black Dragon, right? Black Dragons are pretty badass, so we'll just do Black Dragon, and then... I think probably... I'm not going to worry about shield, because eventually I'll get it as part of my buy-in for Fade Arc. Right? We want to eventually get You've Got My Back. So here's my weapon. And then I don't need to worry about charisma to hit. This would actually help me, Fade Arc Explorer, because it would boost my concentration, which would boost my key generation. Also would boost my spellcraft, which would boost my damage. So this is a good one for me. And the Study the Arcane is good. For right now, I'm going to take this, and then obviously You've Got My Back makes me immune to magic missile. That's why I'm going for that. The great thing about color spray over here is it will use intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, so we can color spray. So I'm absolutely going to take that. We can also grab blur, and we can get fear immunity here too. Like, I absolutely love Fade Arc Illusionist. So the most important one for us, I think, is like becoming fear immune. So now I'm fear immune. I can boost wisdom right here, and now I've got color spray. So I've got a CC, I'm immune to fear. I've got a boost to my concentration, and I've got my weapon. I'm also now immune to magic missile. So that covers all the basics for me to like run around and kill stuff. I've got 1 point in my racial. That's what I take there. And now everything else is going into Dragon Disciple here. It looks like I get universal, melee, and magic resist. Okay, and it says that while I'm centered, I can use my wisdom modifier to hit. That's good. One-handed, you are centered with one-handed clubs and scepters. Now, I already know this. Unless it changed, we're going to try. Completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is what I was going to say. We're going to try our weapon. Okay, so I've got my 2 weapons, and I'm still centered. That's what I wanted to check. The great thing about Fade Arc is these weapons don't uncenter you. So that's one of the reasons I like to use them. So now I've got 2 weapons. I'm 2-weapon fighting as a monk, and we're going to go and try out these new attacks. And we'll see here. So I'm assuming that these bonuses will count towards my one-handed weapon bonus, but I might be wrong. We'll have to see once we start attacking stuff. It says here, taking this enhancement grants you 5 SLAs. Well, we absolutely want that, right? Like, power in practice. Taking this grants you 5 imbue toggles. We absolutely want that. This is just fortitude bonus. We don't really care about that. At least at low level, who cares? I mean, if we have to fight a beholder or something like that, there's other ways that we can mitigate it aside from like fortitude save. While you're centered, you gain 8 universal spell power. That's going to boost our GPS overall. So this is a yes. That's a massive yes. Spellcraft, heal, and listen with more magic resist. Spellcraft will boost our DPS. However, it doesn't boost our concentration. If it did, I would actually take it, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. We want core 2. Our dragon power is undeniable. +2 spellcraft, +2 attack. Dragon Disciple level 9 to 15 bonus is increased by +1. You're now centered while wielding orbs. And while you're centered, you use your wisdom modifier for damage. Awesome. So that's great. So we lock that in. Let's see if there's anything else. Spell point buff is a good one, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. This is a boost to my double strike. That's really good, but I'm not going to worry about it. Imbue die, we likely will take that because we are doing imbue. Melee strikes with weapons generate 2 ki. Absolutely, we want that because ki generation on a monk is all like everything we do is tied to ki in some way, so we need as much ki as we can get. Taking this gives you 5 SLAs. Absolutely. It looks like we always want to take this left one. This one gives us another 5 SLAs. So we're going to take that. I'm not quite sure what this is. Select the way based on your light and dark path monk. All right, so I'm going to uncheck this one and see what this one says, just to see if this is better than this. I have a feeling the SLA is going to be better, but activate this. You become immune to daze, stun, sleep for 60 seconds. Bro, that's awesome. Centered with a rune arm. I don't really know, Necro, if you can be centered with a rune arm. I know that you can later on in epics. If you go into the tree, the epic trees, there are like rune arm specific stuff that you can. But as far as anything in here that says you're centered with a rune arm, I haven't seen anything that says that yet, but it could be that that's, you know, up the tree or one of these. We just haven't got there yet, but I personally am not going to be using a rune arm. This is really cool defensive ability, Channel the Enlightened Dragon, that makes us immune to daze, stun, and sleep for an entire minute. But it looks like I probably should have taken the Disciple. See, this is what I just didn't know. Like, yeah, that's a great... This is me and nearby allies become immune to stun and daze. Like, that's super cool. I can see people taking that and using it in raids and stuff like that. This one here, though, you'd also want to have this, especially if you solo a lot, because this is going to give you and anybody standing near you +2 to attacks, +2 to saving throws, and +2 to all skills. All skills. That means you could buff like a trapper who's with you. So if you and your buddy were running around and they were trapping and you were on a monk with this channel, the Raging Dragon, I took the light instead of the dark. It looks like I probably should have taken Disciple of Philosophy Dark, but I'm not going to worry about taking that now, but it's cool. We will eventually mess around with that. Let's see what this is here. This is a battle trance. Clear your mind. This gives us, okay, we like battle trances. We want that. We're not going to focus on getting that yet, but we do want it. This here is really cool. This one causes our breath weapon attacks to apply shaken to the enemies, and it also gives us more spell power, and then this upgrades to more spell power with more crit chance. I was hoping that it applied a stun, but it doesn't look like it does. Ability scores, we're eventually going to take those. Imbue die, we definitely are going to take those. Aspect of the dragon that we can unlock. We can be centered with a hand axe, battle axe, or sickle. We can be centered with a light hammer or a war hammer, and now we can be centered with a light or a heavy pick. So that allows you to like expand the weapons that you're using. This buffs our SLAs to apply stacks of vulnerability. That's absolutely good. We want to get that. And then this one here, that's like the tier 5 SLA. That's really good. I did read these when I looked at the web page. This one we want to take because it'll just give us a lot more hit points and increase our threat range. That's great. We'll probably take this one too because it's going to boost all our DCs. MRR cap is always nice to have. That one would be sort of like the last one that I would push. For universal spell crit, and the breath weapons have their cooldown reduced by 33%. That's massively great. That's really good. That's probably like one of the first ones. If you weren't pushing hit points or the SLA, you'd probably take this one, then this one, and then this one. But it's going to be between those three. I mean, this is good too. They're all good. And then here, Way of the Mighty Dragon now includes 2 double strike. And then Dragon Disciple increases, this increases, and I also gain True Seeing. That's really good. So I think just for like testing this out, I'm going to take this SLA first. This would be the next one that I take here. But so far, this tree looks really cool. It's just going to be whether or not these things actually, like whether or not they actually play. All right, so Acolyte Breath Acid, I want. Draconic Burst Acid, I want. And then Lesser Burst Acid, I want. Power in Practice. This is my Imbue toggle. We're going to go Acid for the Imbue toggle. Okay, so there we go. So now we're all imbued up. You're experimenting with your Completionist Trailblazer. Boss DPS is meh, but the trash is clear is good. Yeah, I feel every time I play a Warlock, I like lament the fact that my trash killing is godly, but my boss killing is terrible. It looks like they did not upgrade any of this starter in gear, which is unfortunate. Like it's still all pretty much garbage. Although that Ring of Regeneration isn't bad. Flower is like one of the worst NPCs. I'm going to put these on because that's 10% striding, and I'll just throw away those 5%. Con 3 is still okay. That's junk. Since I have no other source of armor, I'll put those on. Dexterity 1, Resistance 1. Is it better than my natural armor 1? Yeah, for now. Let's get rid of that and put that on. And it's still all junk. I just don't think I have anything in the bank that will help out. There, take my rags off. So all this stuff just needs to go in my bank, basically. We'll keep that on us. All right, looks good. Take us in, Captain. It looks like there's a lot of people here. I'm gonna grab myself a throwing star because I need a throwing weapon. Okay. And now I need to hit a bank. So we might as well do that. If I need to hit a bank, probably should go to the Hall of Heroes. Right? Probably should go to the Hall of Heroes because I need to pick up, like, some of the rewards that I got from the other expansions. I love Monk, dude. Monk in this game is so cool. I wonder if my slow fall will keep me alive. You guys think it'll keep me alive? Ah, it did, yeah. I still took a bunch of damage though. All right, so they give me a whole bunch of free cosmetics, right? So we're gonna pick it all up here. We're just gonna basically see whatever they'll give my character. So there, I got the blue wings. I'm getting all these cosmetics. I'm gonna put on whatever looks like the coolest one. I can put on my footprints. And then we're definitely going to go and get the free cloak from House P. We might as well let, you know, like show off the fact that we got our hardcore lantern, and then we also want to show off the fact that we got our hardcore mount. So there it is, the skull cat. Eventually we'll get a pretty good speed boost too. Monks are really cool, like with stuff like that, so. This is the VIP. I'm almost positive I have everything on here already. Yeah, it looks like I grabbed everything. Okay, that's good. So I need this Mithranor. This is going to give me a bunch of stuff. I want my Vecna stuff. So we're just going to claim all this. It's too bad it's not one vendor who I can just say, bro, give me everything. But I don't want to exchange my ticket. I want this. All right. So that looks good. That looks good. So I got the Mithranor book, so I'm going to get rid of my Sharn Pass. I don't need to keep the Salt Marsh Compass. I technically don't need to keep... Like, I think I already used this stuff, yeah. All this stuff should already be used. I'm not going to wear that, so... I'm pretty sure I already used that. I don't need to keep level 32 teal. So this is all the expansion stuff. I already used this mount, I'm pretty sure. Yep. I don't need to keep level 30 Frago. I don't need to keep the Spark. I'm not going to use this cosmetic. Not using that cosmetic either. Just make sure that I have that mount. I do. Alright, so we're not going to use any of this stuff. I'm going to keep Frago level 3. I don't need to keep that map because I have the book. There's my... I don't need to keep this gem either. I can always pick up another one if I need it. We do need to keep that. I don't need to save her, but I do want to save her. Alright, that's the +3 racial is the one that we really needed to get because that'll give us a couple more points to spend in Drow. We need that. So I know for a fact that this outfit is really cool. But it might not be like the coolest for this particular character, but it does look pretty cool. Like that's pretty badass. That looks really cool. I could also dress like Vecna if I wanted to, right? That's pretty badass too. Let's go to House P because we're gonna grab our free bright green scarf. Alright, there's our buff. And I got the scarf. Alright, there's my event cloak. Yeah, that's super cool, man. So this is the dragon, one of the dragon outfits. That's pretty cool. And it looks good with that cloak, right? That looks good. This is the other one. And that's pretty badass too. I think that looks good. I think I like that better. Cult of the Dragon. I'm not gonna use the helm because I'm using this dragon cult, the spider cult mask that I use, but I think this is what we're gonna go with as far as the free cosmetics go. And the rest of that stuff will go in the bank. I don't need to keep any of this. Do want to use that though. I will save level 18. Alright, so I want... There's Myth Draenor, there's the Drunken Dragon, there is the Bottle of Mist for Ravenloft, and the last one I usually pin is Saltmarsh. Great. I could go get all the other stuff for the hardcore rewards, but I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. So there are things in these rewards here that I could open and use. Like one of them, there's a couple of books that have like skill books in there, but we're not going to waste the time doing that. Like I can do that later. I do need some money, so I'm going to take like 100. Okay, now I can basically do whatever I need to do. Alright, that looks good. I do have some extra points, okay? So, like, I'm gonna have to reset everything. Because I ended up grabbing a couple extra points, so... It's only 380 for me to respec everything right now. We'll do it again, because I have 3 racials now. Probably better if I take Dex there. Yeah, okay. And then over here, I've got 2 universals, so... We're going to do Wisdom. We'll go Fear Immune again, and then we've got our Color Spray. And now we're going to max out all the stuff that we took before. Oh, actually, I want this one now. And then that. And then that gives us an extra point to take that. Perfect. Alright, that looks really good. Oh, they make you re-drag all of these. Alright, so let's do that. There's my color spray. Power. This is our imbue, right? So that's our breath. That's a burst. And then there should be like a lesser burst, right? Okay. Oh, alright. So I've got spells. So I've already got SLAs, so I don't need to take these. Alright, so I'm just going to use SLAs. And for this stuff here, I'm going to take resist. I don't need shield. And then for my level 2, I could take blur. Probably elemental weapon. That gives us an alchemical imbue die. right? That's pretty good. Although it might be worth like messing around to see what the difference in, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm just gonna basically take the regular breath attack to see if I can like do them one after the other, how much mana they use, etc. You know, we're just gonna test it out and see. And I could if I want. I don't think I'm gonna run with these wings on, but I could turn them on there. The footprints, we can. It's so crazy how good these footprints are. It's insane. It's insane that they just gave them away. Like, they're like the best in the game, right? All right, so what do I need to do? I need to go to the harbor. And I need to try to get a guild invite, so... Alright, so I'm in the Death Smile channel. See if anybody is available to give me an invite for ship buffs. So I'm not going to play this character at all, really, so I don't need to join the guild, but... since we're messing around on it, it would be better to get guild buffs, because that'll boost my main stat. And then it helps for me to get these bags. Yeah, so now I've got one of each bag. That's good. At some point in the past, I bought an expansion that gave me a mount bag, but they changed the way mounts work. So you no longer have a little icon. You no longer need a bag. So what they did is they upgraded the bag. They didn't delete it. They said, okay, anybody who bought the expansion that came with the mount bag is going to just get a medium ingredients bag. So that's where I got that green medium bag. Those are... it's not super good, but on a character that you just make, that's actually a really good size bag for that. So if anybody is watching, is on Cormier and is in the guild, if you could like invite me to the ship, that'd be fantastic. I just want to get guild buffs. We made a couple of astral shards on some things that we sold on the auction house, so we have a little bit of extra. I mean, that's a lot extra, so I'm going to... I have a free silver roll, but I can upgrade it for 12 astral shards in order to do a gold roll. And since I'm streaming, I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll see what I roll. Alright, I rolled a 34. That's a terrible roll, but we did get 2000 XP and some essences. So when I decide to do my crafting and cap it out, those essences will come in handy. So there's nobody in guild who can give me an invite. This happens all the time, by the way. Like, I ask for like help. Hey, Trog. So I don't know if any of you guys watching are online on Cormier now. If you are, please toss me an invite so I can grab ship buffs. I'm on Monk Double D. It looks like the people who are in Death Smile chat... Oh, somebody got me. I don't want to join the guild, but I do want that. Yeah, somebody got me in a party. Great. Thank you very much. I just want the buffs. Okay, so I'm all set now. What is a good... Alright, so the first place I need to go before I actually jump into a quest is I need to see... I'm level 7, right? So I have no gear on at all. So I think what we're going to do is go to Tangleroot I think that's probably like the best use of our... Oh, bro, I should have taken the guild invite just to buy potions, right? That's so stupid. I always forget that those vendors are tied to the guild, like... It's okay, we can go to the market and buy potions. They're just not as good. It's alright, though. I'm good, Trog, thank you. All set. I don't need to join the guild. I'll just buy regular potions, it's fine. Alright, so I've got a stack of potions. I don't really think I'll need anything else. I'll buy some neutralized poisons just because. Maybe I'll buy a couple curse removals. I'm not gonna go grab a lantern. I don't think it's worth the time. Let's see if there's any wands that I can use. So I have a 25% chance to activate a wand of aid. I have a 45% chance to do a Cure Light Wound, which I will pick up. Alright, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. So let's see how it does out of the box. Right? See how it does out of the box. No gear. The only thing I have on me are my Fey swords from Fade Arc Illusionist. I could grab a Hireling Cleric. We'll see how we do. I kind of want to just test this as it is, just to see if it's like, you know, if it's inherently like overpowered. We'll be able to see it immediately, right? I'll just start obliterating everything in no gear. But if it's, you know, like balanced or underperforming, then I'll probably just get murdered. This stuff should be reasonably easy for me because I'm level 7, but we'll see.
The sign here reads, "The One-Eared Bugbear Inn, ale, lodging, and transport to Stormreach within."
Oh, you know what I want to do before I do that? I want to activate my meta magics on these SLAs. Oh, okay, one of those is an actual spell. So let's see the cost. That costs 10 key. That costs 5 key. That costs 45 spell points. I only have 215 spell points, so like that, and this costs 5 key. So really all I want to do is just do this once, just to see how strong it is, basically. And there's my color spray. I should be able to color spray everything reasonably easy. My save is a 23. If I jump into water stance, that save will go up to 24. Yeah, it did. Okay, so that's the spell point one, and this is these are SLAs. Okay. So this is the spell breath.
Post is the first line of defense for keeping intruders out.
That was pretty cool, man. The only issue I'm seeing is that my key generation right now is at 0. Even with this +2 key generation. So like I'm not making a ton, and that costs 10. Here's my energy burst. That was really good. That was really good, man. So it looks like for this, if you can get your key generation where it's above 0 and you don't have to do anything in combat, you could just run from group to group to group. Yeah, see, that's way too expensive. 35 key is insane. That's insane. So I can generate key, by attacking, which is the problem I have on my thrower. I have no means to generate ki. Like, I could go into Grandmaster Flowers, take that epic strike that generates a whole bunch of ki. But you can see by me just attacking, now I've got 30 ki. So it's pretty easy. So I just have to run in and hit a bunch of stuff. But this energy burst, man, that is awesome. Like, that feels like epic, the epic Draconic Incarnation. Like, it's exactly kind of what it feels like. That I've been doing the normal, this is the lesser one right here. So we'll do the lesser one and we'll see how much damage the lesser one does right now.
This hobgoblin battle ram blasted open the gateways of many forts.
Oh, that was really
towns,
good. I'm gonna Dragon Breath
away
this
from
dude.
merciless hobgoblin invaders.
I'm digging the SLAs, the fact that they added so many SLAs. So I have a non-SLA cast of the Dragon Breath that costs a ton of spell points. No key, it just costs spell points. So we are going to try it on these monsters that are up
The hobgoblins
ahead.
here do not seem hostile. In fact, their chief beckons you closer.
And I'm going to do these on Elite just to see how my damage is on Elite. I have a feeling it's going to fall off pretty hard. I'm going to generate a bunch of ki before I go into the quest.
You have found the mouth of Splinter Skull. The shouts of hobgoblins echo from within.
Alright, I have almost 20 ki. So I'm just gonna basically, like, try to line these up for a Dragon Breath. If I can. Oh, that actually is pretty good.
You hear snarling from around the corner. The hobgoblin's den is near.
Alright, he got the emergency bell off, so I'm gonna be surrounded. I just energy burst. Here's the spell cast. The spell cast wasn't bad. It was about the same, but it ate up all of my mana. Like, a really big chunk of the mana. So I guess what I have to do if I actually want to run with, like, the regular spells, I can't run with Maximize. I can keep it quickened. So that reduces the spell cost to 20. That's a little bit more reasonable. So I don't need ki for these at all. So let's see if I just basically Dragon Breath these with the spell. It was like 50 damage. It's not that much. That was the ki energy burst. It's really good.
You hear a click from the direction of the
The only issue I can see going forward is, like, is there a way to make the monster take the damage type that you're doing? I don't think so. So it may be that you have to change the SLAs based on what you're doing. You know what I mean? Okay, I ran out of ki, so I actually have to fight. Keep in mind, too, I'm not wearing any gear that boosts my my spell power.
You hear
So
clattering from
the
the
damage
entry
is going to
hall.
go up.
The portcullis must
If I
be
were
open.
if I were in, like, a Feywild 7-piece set, my damage would probably be a lot better than what that is. Let's see if I can color spray. Yes. And let's see if I can energy burst the colors. Yeah. So you know what that says to me? If I go into Ninja Spy With color spray in Ninja Spy, I get a boost, you know, to right there. No mercy. 30% extra damage to helpless. Everything color sprayed is considered helpless, right? So that energy burst, I may be able to like synergize the color spray energy burst in order to get like a ton of damage. As long as I can keep my DCs high enough.
You've slain 20 Splinter Skull hobgoblins. Ungers will be pleased. A large, haughty hobgoblin leers at you. This is Chag, Blade Master of Splinter Skull.
This is low level stuff. So, I mean, it's not like I'm completely naked. I do have some basic starter gear. Pretty much junky gear, but you did Dragon Disciple with 4 levels of Wild Mage, Iconic Chaos Mancer, so the acid immunity strip. That's a really smart idea. That's cool. You see if it keeps.
The hobgoblins here
let us know how that goes.
Hostile. In fact, their chief beckons you closer.
I can't stand wild magic. Like, after playing it for 3 lives, I'm like totally burnt out on it.
You have found the mouth of Splinter Skull. The shouts of hobgoblins echo
First
from
life
within.
was super fun. Second life, it was fun. Third life, I was ready to kill myself. It was just so, I couldn't handle it anymore. So the energy burst is just super good. Dragon Breath is good too. Let's try. Since I'm not tied to an element, let's see how they all play. Right? Because what we've seen in this game is that sometimes things play a little bit differently than they appear. So here's electric. Here's our electric burst. And then this is the lesser electric burst. And I definitely have to swap out this spell cost for an actual spell, and I need to get spell components because I don't have them at the moment. So the other thing too I think I'm going to try is running around in the wind stance. All right, I've got 40. I've got a bunch of key now, so I want to actually
shut
see.
the portcullis again. You'll have to open it with the levers.
Just make sure, like, we're gonna try color spraying and energy bursting this group here. No, I'll tell you something. I feel like the acid was a little bit higher damage. It could just be like RNG. So we'll try it again. Because keep in mind, they were stunned too. So we were seeing, what, like 150? And that one, I think it was just 100. Alright, that's good. That's the same. Yeah, it's the same. That was just, it's just basically RNG. It looks really cool. So it looks like the lesser one might not even be worth putting on the bar. It might be just going between like the regular energy burst and the breath. The damage on the, even with it maximized and quickened.
You hear human voices crying
The other
for
thing
help in
too,
this
like,
hobgoblin laughter.
I'm thinking
This
maybe,
is one of
like,
their
you don't even
prisons.
really need to, as long as you just swing your weapon and attack stuff and hit it, generate key, you probably could just focus completely on, like, spellcaster stuff.
The prisoner flees to safety.
Because I would imagine most of my damage is going to come from, like, doing, you know, these low-cost key attacks, right? I just need to build key up by swinging my sword, but I don't really care. So, like, I took precision. I probably could have
The prisoner
taken
flees to safety.
something else instead of precision. So it's not really like my bread and butter kill attack is going to be from my two-weapon fighting. Now, this is just a low-level, like, possibility. Maybe later on I want to have, but right now all I'm doing is basically generating key and then just popping. You know, I'm using my magic to kill stuff, right? Like that. Those were all key attacks that I just did. And now I've got 20 key again, so I can do my energy burst. And you can do energy bursts. Like, you can do the little SLA and the big SLA right after each other.
The prisoner
So
flees to safety.
you can technically, if you have the key, you can blast out a whole bunch of damage.
The prisoner flees to safety.
Yeah, it's it. So it looks like they kept it pretty much the same. You took precision too, yeah. I mean, it really is good if you're swinging a sword or doing any kind of melee.
This is the warden's room, where the prison's cruel
I
master
have
torments
14.
his captives.
I'm gonna try to
One
energy
cowers
burst
at the
all
room's
these.
edge.
Oh, look at that.
Justice has been meted. This key appears to be for a storeroom of some sort. All the prisoners have escaped from Splinter Skull.
I mean, once
Your
again,
work
we're
here is
back
done
at, like,
for now.
you guys who, like, know my builds or stuff, like, I do a lot of the same thing just because it works. This color spray is definitely going to be incorporated into my whatever I like finalize or my Dragon Disciple build. Absolutely. 100%. I think this is what I'm going to make my build. I'll go entirely up this tree. We'll grab everything on tier 5. Maybe not Shining Scale, but if I have an extra point, it's only 1 point. I'm going to go in here to get a bunch of the wisdom buffs and also all the other stuff that I can grab out of here that might help us out because we're running around in robes. So this, like, refraction is pretty good. This bend light is pretty good. These extra points here are pretty good. I can also grab, like, spell crit damage from these middle ones here. I could, if I really wanted to, grab, like, the Shadow Blade spells. If I really wanted to, just completely do, like, a spellcaster thing. These are SLAs. They're not very expensive. Having Be My Eyes is always really cool and useful. And then I think what I'll do, based on how many points I have, like, I might not actually go that far up into this Fade Arc tree because I might try to go, like, tier 5 here and then grab No Mercy and just run around basically group to group to group color spraying. Because I have all the meta magics, right? I have it maximized, quickened. Every meta magic that I get, I'm a spellcaster, right? So, like, color spray is going to work and it keys off of my wisdom. Like, so I just basically have to stack illusion DCs, which I could do on gear. And then I can get this helpless bonus damage. And then once I get into epics, I can double down on that. I can take a feat. I can get a whole. So basically, like, I could end up doing lots of helpless damage if I get things color sprayed. And then if I'm running around in a group and there's a Dragon Lord and the Dragon Lord does like the breath, the dragon breath, and stuns everything, anything that I then energy burst is going to take a shit ton of damage because of this. There's a lot of stuff in this tree that I don't think I need to worry about, because as a spellcaster, like, I probably wouldn't go up this left tree here, but I think I could probably make a bunch of this stuff work. Like, extra concentration and dodge is really good. The sneak attack and performing sneak attacks, it's really not like what I would do, but I would take the less melee threat gen. That's really good. Having action boosts and stuff are really good, and I have not looked at these yet. We don't need to spend too much time looking at those, but that's something that as I put together my build, obviously I'll take a look at the other tree as well to see maybe there's something better I can do over there, but I'm thinking that might be the way to go for this. If I'm gonna focus on like making this
the hobgoblins
an
here
energy
do not
burst build,
seem hostile.
basically.
In fact, their chief beckons you closer.
Which I like. Old school epic Destiny, everybody would slot in as a Twist of Fate energy burst just because it was so useful, right? Like, it's so cool.
You have found the mouth of Splinter Skull. The shouts of hobgoblins echo from within.
So this is going to get progressively harder because the level goes up for these as we progress. So like those first two were level 3, now this is level 4. So just going to generate a bunch of ki on this guy here, and then now we can energy burst. And I think what I'm going to do is switch to fire for the next. So we want to see what these all look like, right? So there's fire. Here's my energy burst fire. And then we always could take, like, let's say for some reason something was immune to fire. Well, I could do a lesser burst acid, like I could key that to my bar just to have like a second damage type on the bar just in case something was immune. If I have no damage break, a DR break, whatever. So I'm going to try to color spray them and then just energy burst them. Oh, the dragon breath looks pretty cool. If we can boost that later on with buffs from Draconic Incarnation, I have a feeling this will be super fun. So the one issue I'm noticing right now is my key generation. Like, I really want to kind of blast that as high as I can get it. And if I could get it to where it's generating like 5 ki a second, like that would be super strong. I think I could do that in epics. But I'm just gonna basically color spray. And without the gear to make sure that I'm, you know, boosted here, it's not going to hit every one of them. But if I were in, like, really good gear, like a Fade Arc set, an Assault March set, or something else, like a Isle of Dread. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty solid. All things considered. The one limiter right now is I just keep running out of ki. So I'm thinking as long as I can hit the stuff and generate ki, I don't really need to worry about taking like lots of melee focused attacks, at least for the build that I'm thinking about.
The tactician is checking a roster against the nearby hobgoblins. You're not on it though, so he growls and wades into battle.
So that dude took a lot. I had to hit him like 3 or 4 times with my energy burst in order to kill him, so... Alright, this group coming up here of 18, I should be able to jump color spray.
The air smells foul here, but you hear hobgoblins
And then
shouting
energy
orders.
burst them all.
Some of the tacticians may be in these caverns.
Hey, that worked. That was pretty cool. They have the cooldown on energy bursts really low. It's super cool. You can see the cooldown for the breath weapon is long, but the energy burst is like up right away.
The hobgoblin tactician barks orders to his men from a sheaf of papers. Seeing you,
so like I can spam it, and I can also, like I said, I can chain the lesser and the greater together to hit them twice. That was the spell cast. Yeah, I've got to get rid of that. I've got to swap that out for something useful like an imbue die or something like that. But all things being considered, like, I don't even think I'm going to push imbue die on this build, because I think what I'm going to focus on is trying to get my energy burst.
This door appears not only to be locked, but also barred on the other side.
Did I not grab the map? I didn't grab the map. Yeah, I think I'm just going to focus on getting my energy burst, my spell powers, as blasted up as high. I literally am just going to try to go for some godly energy burst build. I might even call it that. You know, like, I might even call it like a monk energy burst nuker or something. So basically, we just need to get our key generation up and then just basically bounce around and just energy burst, energy burst, energy burst over and over and over. If I can get the passive key generation to spontaneously give me like 2 or 3 a second, I won't even worry about melee attacking at all. I literally would not even need to melee attack, because right now that's the only reason that I'm melee attacking, is to generate key. And so this is kind of like how I get up here. If I can. I'm not sure if I can actually jump here. I should be able to, yeah. And I should be able to catch this ledge right here. Yes, okay. So now I bypass
the hobgoblin
the trap,
tactician
basically.
looks up from studying a map of Tangleroot, sees you, and draws his swords with a snarl.
That worked. Considering it was... There are a lot of mobs there. This is actually playing reasonably fun. Like... You don't have ghost touch. Yeah, so the... that is an issue you have to worry about if you're doing melee or ranged damage. It's one of the reasons I love the face swords and do the Feydark dual shadow blades, because they're ghost touch right out of the blocks. I never have to worry about it.
The hobgoblins here do not seem hostile. In fact, their chief...
The other thing about those
closer.
too is they level up with me. So if we cast them, we can see that they are right now +2, impact 2, force blast 2, and then the shadow blade is made out of it's ethereal and corporeal, and then it bypasses the ghost touch. So once I level up, then that gets better and better. So I never really have to worry about it. It's one of the reasons that I really like it. I know it's not the optimal weapon to use, though. Like, there are better weapons you can farm, especially once you get up into Legendary, where you get, like, a Ascension Gem, like, you cannot slot.
You have found the mouth of Splinter Skull. The shouts of hobgoblins echo from within.
There's no way to slot Ascension Gem in these, but... You can eventually farm for these out of the Feywild raid. You can get the Shadow Blade that you could slot a gem into. Yeah, so now that I get a little bit higher level, these are CR10s. My damage is falling off a little bit, but again, keep in mind, I'm not wearing any gear, so. Like, I mean, that's really cool. My hit bonus is plus 21. That seems like it's low, but whatever. I'm just gonna try to energy burst all these. And then having that CC, it's super huge. Like that. Unlike Dragon Lord, this doesn't have a CC built in, but the fact that we can access color spray makes this super cool. I don't need to go up there. I just have to go fight the spider.
A foul-smelling spider hisses at you. You have stumbled across one of Whisperdoom's daughters.
Ah, dude, that's awesome, right? Let's dragon breath her. Not that much damage, but all right, do I have key? I have 12 key. Let's see. Energy burst. We'll do another. And then I'll do my actual spell cast. See, that was terrible. That spell's gotta go. See if I can just melee her down before she kills me. Think she's gonna kill me? She's probably gonna kill me. Leave me alone! Don't you dare. I've got a ring of regeneration on. I will get up again. As long as she doesn't try to do anything. So we can't bleed out because I've got a ring of regenerate on, so we will automatically stabilize. Yeah, there you go. All right, give me his potion. All right, I'm just gonna energy burst her. There. Easy. Easy. That was so easy. Let's try this wand and see if I can actually heal myself. Nope. 50% of the time, it fails every time, right? There we go. What's our actual percentage? It's not 50%. It's 45%. Yeah, 45% of the time. In DDO, 45% is 0. How is that, right? Like, look at that. How does DDO manage to get these statistically impossible dice rolls? You guys who've cast a teleport and failed the teleport to fall into the harbor 5, 6, 7 times in a row know exactly what I'm talking about. The dice rolling in this game is so BS. Like, there's no way it could actually happen like that. I think in order to fail teleport, you'd have to roll a 1, and like, I've done it like 5 times in a row. Could I roll a 1 5 times in a row? Sure, I think you can, but...
The stench of the spider tunnels is stronger than before. Whatever dwells here now must be huge and foul.
Alright, this, wolf is scaring me, so he's gotta go. Back in the day, you could kill Whisperdoom.
The bilious stench is stronger down this tunnel. And
I think you can still kill her.
Bulk shifting in the caves beyond.
But we're not going to. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get tricky with this one. We're gonna use our superhero favorite NPC, Teal, and we are going to have Teal go in there. Get aggro on her. Legit, Teal is like one of the best hirelings, I think. I mean, obviously nothing against Larafay. Larafay probably is literally the best hireling, but Teal is like, if there's an S plus tier, it's Larafay, Teal, and probably the druid that they gave us there, the one from the Mithranor expansion,
surrounded by gleaming egg sacs.
Because
Behold,
she's ranged.
Whisper Doom and her clutch.
Oh, Teal died. She's ranged, and she also does like an AoE heal on us. I'm getting obliterated here by damage. Is it? Oh, it's a champ. I see. It's a champ. It's not Whisper Doom. It's that champ that's with her. That right there. This. All right. There we go. Better. Sorry, Teal. I don't want to hit her because I don't want to aggravate her. Let's see if I can loot this chest. It's gonna be tricky to get this timed out. There we go. Oh, I thought I had it. No? Come on, man. I've got dodge. What's my dodge score? What is my dodge? My dodge is 27. Oh, no, it's 11. My max is 20. I have 11%, so 1 out of 10. Should be able to open this. Nice. There we go. All right. I don't want to die, so I'm actually going to use a potion. And then this here, there's a bunch of different ways to run away from her. I'll show you what we used to do. I don't think I do this now. I would run to where I jumped up earlier. But if I do that, there's mobs there, so at low health, I wouldn't want to engage them. So likely what the best thing to do is to do what we used to do in the old days. And run here. Old school. And then, so a lot of people used to like go in here and then shut the door. So she can't get in. Right? But if for some reason you couldn't shut the door, let's say, you can go hide behind this, like right here, and then recall. And so even if she sees you and starts spitting at you, it'll hit the thing and won't interrupt you from recalling.
The hobgoblins here do not seem hostile. In fact, their chief beckons.
Did I turn on my
closer.
water stance? I am in air stance right now. And I'll tell you why. It gives me nothing that I can benefit from. So actually, that is a great suggestion of yours. I benefit more in the water stance. Since I'm not really doing much melee, I should be in the water stance. I think too, you could make an argument maybe like for the con boost and the armor and the PRR from mountain. Like if you were just running around, if you can get your auto keygen up around like 3 to 5, or maybe
You
that's.
have found the mouth of.
Let's say even if it were
Splinter
2.
Skull. The shouts
right?
of hobgoblins echo from within.
Bro, look at that. This is still busted. This is part of what I was talking about with the game being busted. Like Teal should have been removed from my party, so now the server has an instance open with a dead Teal. Okay, she just was destroyed. Okay, great. Thank you. The game heard me talking about it. I'm really glad to see that they added that. So it looks like the game actually has like a check now. Like, is there a player in this instance? No. Okay, then destroy the instance. It destroyed it and then Teal vanished. Because what you could run around for like 4 hours with an NPC in your party that was dead that never got deleted, and I just think that added to the lag of the game because you've got this instance that's being kept alive that you're not even in, right? Like,
Scratched into the stone here, almost invisible, is a message. Seek the spider caves.
we have evasion, so we don't really need to worry about those flame strikes. Right, W Monk. Like, monks
A
are
massive,
so good.
well-armed hobgoblin.
I don't want him anywhere
One of
near me.
Yakic's hand-picked avengers catches sight of you and snarls with rage.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna just beat up this dude. Generate some key. Gonna run out of potions, though. I still have 25. That's good. I'm gonna jump in and tease them and then back up and color spray them. So now everything is higher level because I think this... What are the CRs on these? CR 9. That Avenger's just CR 11 though. I don't want him to hit me. Alright, that is a champ Avenger, so we really don't want him to hit us. I'm gonna try to color spray all this stuff. There's my Dragon Breath. My energy burst. My second energy burst. The second energy burst killed him. I'm gonna energy burst these as soon as I'm not held. Okay. I need some keys, so I'm just gonna basically beat these. I mean, this is cool. This plays really, really nice. Like, super nice. Like, this is super cool.
An arrow is drawn in the dust on the floor, partly erased by the passage of many feet. It points to the right.
Having the 3 SLAs is super useful too because they're not always taking like a ton of damage. Like that dude died from 1 energy burst, but
You found it.
It
The
actually
key to
plays
Splinter
really
Skull's
well.
Inner stronghold.
I'm sure there's lots of different variations on build that people can do, but this particular one that I'm working on now, the like caster focused energy burster is pretty fun.
The last of you. The door remains locked, but the bars have been removed from the... Your party has reached the inner stronghold. Ahead lies a sturdy, fortified door. From the other side, you hear moving water. This
Yeah,
must
so
be the
we're
way
level
to the inner
7.
stronghold.
Now this is on elite, it's level 7. So now we're at level. Something to keep in mind, I'm not wearing any gear. My robe is actually breaking. This is just starter junk. Nothing here is really good. The regen ring is actually helpful because if we get, like you saw earlier, if we bleed out, we will actually get up again, but it would be nice if we had real gear. I probably do. Ooh. Bro. These things hit hard. Alright, everything's dead. So now, got my throwing star. No, I've got my throwing star. Why is it giving me that? Oh, I must... Okay, there. And I got hit by a... So annoying. Ray of Enfeeblement lasts for like 5 minutes too, right? So I cannot do my SLA in any sort of arranged way, but my imbue die work. I'm not sure why that's not working.
There are no controls on this side of the drawbridge. You must find a way to activate the lever on the far side of the chasm.
No idea. And my damage now is so low because that stupid debuff you put on me. If I had a restore potion, I could get it off, but... Oh, I see why. I'm not centered. I'm not centered because of that. Alright, so now I'm centered again. Better. That's the one downside of being a monk. You have to stay centered. And like random weird stuff like that can uncenter you. So let's get some key.
The hobgoblin here glances around furtively, then beckons you closer.
This quest used to actually give a boatload of XP. They nerfed it years ago because people would just farm it because it's super fast. That was a long time ago.
The hobgoblins here do not seem hostile. In fact, their chief beckons you closer.
Alright, here we go. I believe these are now going to be over-leveled for us. I think they're level 8 on Elite. 8 or 9. So, level 7 with no gear. It's we definitely are much more at risk now of dying. We're going into it with about 30 key. That's good.
Skull. The shouts of hobgoblins echo from within.
Yeah, so let's just double check it and see. Yeah, it's level 8. Alright, I've got 19 key. Try to color spray these and then energy burst them down. Yeah, it probably would have been better if I let them ring the bell, right? All right, we have 15. It's enough for 2 energy bursts. We could do the same thing here. Just let them see me, and hopefully they all funnel to the door, and I'll just color spray them there. Alright, I have 9 left. I can do another energy burst. It doesn't look like the range on it is super big. I think it might be the same as like a normal energy burst, but like I missed the ones that were on the other side of that door, so. Still though, I mean, I absolutely love how fast the cooldown is on energy burst.
Zulkash must
Like
have
you
been
can just
breeding these
string them
freaks with
together.
his magic. Destroy them.
Yeah, we definitely need to like do some min-maxing to try to figure out if there's a way that I can get my auto keygen up. If I can get my auto keygen up, then
The lock on the your
This will
party
be
has
really
reached
cool.
the inner stronghold. You hear hobgoblin voices beyond the stronghold door. The guards must be ready for you.
oh, I forgot to summon my blades. What a difference. A 40 key. Oh, now I'm not centered anymore. I can't do my key attacks. I can't do my spell casts. Concentrate item or slotted diamond. Yeah, that's true. Yep. So we got to blast our concentration as high as we can get it. And it also, we have to mitigate from being dropped out of being centered. So obviously we can see why I've got a 2 strength. So on like a character with a lot of TR, she probably wouldn't have to worry about that because she'd probably have an ability tome and wow, that is TDM 7. I've never seen that. I'm wondering if that's a placeholder. If they meant to change that read on the character sheet or not. Alright, so I'm no longer debuffed, so I can begin again. I just don't have any restoration potions. If I did, I wouldn't have to stop. I could just drink it and keep going. Alright, and I have 0. I have to, hopefully, I don't want to get attacked by one of these witch doctors that hits me with one of those beams that makes it so that I can't do anything for a minute.
The magical field in the room beyond is no more. The flesh render that was bound there before is gone.
My strength is 5. So I'm still centered. I must have been hit with multiple ones. Maybe that.
The gate here stands open, and you hear hobgoblin voices chanting, echoing from far down the hallway.
Chanting hobgoblins. Okay. How many of these actually have worked? 45%. And I literally have, what, cast 5 out of 50? Like, come on, man. This is stupid. It's not 45%. Not even close. It's just dumb. It's so dumb. TDO 45% means 5%. No. Right, there we go. I mean, that's pretty solid right there. It's that, right? Pretty sure it's that. I might be wrong. I think it's that. It's been a while, man. I'm going on memory completely. Like, I think that's what it is. I'm not even gonna look. We're gonna see how good my memory is.
This doorway radiates magic and danger. Perhaps the hieroglyphs around it hint at a way through.
We'll see. Is it time for me to pack it in, or is my memory actually working? All right, I think it's set. We'll see if my memory is off. If the door isn't open, should I uninstall and just quit? Because my memory is gone. Because I did at one point have this memorized. Yeah, I still do.
A deep, sonorous voice echoes deep within this
I don't know
chamber.
whether that's cool or
Atop
pathetic.
the dais stands the Splinter Skull totem,
Like,
shining like the fires of
there's
Eternia.
my brain
Must be destroyed.
processes have like permanent DDO stuff in them. I think that I'm not centered, so I can't really do anything. I can color spray, but I have to try to get like lucky and kill this stupid dude so he doesn't keep. Yeah, this is a huge down, like down for this build here. Like, gotta figure out a way to stay centered all the time. Otherwise, can't do anything. I can't cast any spells. I lose all of my monk, like, defenses. I lose basically, like, everything if I'm not centered, so. I can still get lucky and, like, kill stuff with melee, but probably... I can't even do, like, the spell cast that costs spell points.
Zulkash dies with the Devourer's name on his lips. As he falls, a key and a sheaf of notes. Zulkash's notes speak of his attempts to control an elemental trapped in a water-filled cavern. The Splinter Skull totem collapses into rubble. You feel the Fane's aura of evil dwindle
Alright, we were able
away.
to do it. Not that that's super difficult, but considering we're not wearing any gear, that's pretty cool. We're just going to try to do the whole thing, right? Dragon Disciple Monk, yep. I think it's...
hobgoblins here do
so
not
far, it's
seem
been super
hostile.
fun.
In fact, their chief beckons you closer.
Like, as somebody who's a fan of Monk, it's a nice reboot for Monk. And this is definitely, like, the fighter magic user mix is pretty cool. The way that they implemented it. I'm glad that it's only the spells that you cast and not the SLAs that use actual spell points. So all of the basic spell points that I have,
have found the
they're going to
mouth
go
of
towards
Splinter
buffs.
Skull.
I'm not going to
shouts
take
of
that.
Hobgoblins echo from within.
Likely, I'm going to take Blur or Elemental Weapon or something like that. And then this first level, I do have Resist Energy and Long Strider. I think I can use Resist without having components. Yeah, I can. So, like, that's just gonna allow us to, like, self-buff if we're doing, like, solo play. And then this here, I think this is the last one, so this should be level 9, yeah. Again, we're just trying this, so when I get uncentered, I have to redo my ocean stance. I forget to do that. It'd be really interesting to see if I can do this without dying to this champion. And I'm going to switch for this one to ice. I'm going to keep this one as acid. This is the alt one. And then because I also am like, it's like an oh shit button right there if I need it, but so far it hasn't really helped out having that. Meditate, and I'm gonna grab a bunch of ki before we go into the fight. I've still got like just under 5 hours on that buff, even though we're not in an area where I can get named loot. That's really cool. All right, we've got 40 ki now. It looks really cool. I think my favorite's the acid one, I'd have to say. I've got 7 potions left. I have to, like, try to conserve them. Because we still have a bunch of, like, dangerous stuff to do. Alright, that was all the ki that I have. Let's see if I can generate some more here. Okay. 20 ki for this fight should be enough.
Through the smoky haze, you glimpse the ogre Mourge, one of Yarkich's war masters.
Oh, we got him. That's great. Hit him with the breath weapon.
War Master Mourge collapses in a bloody heap.
I'm gonna try it again. It's alright, my damage has sort of fallen off, though, a little bit, so... But you can see it's back up so quick. It actually plays really well. If they had stretched out that energy burst cooldown where it's like the breath weapon, I don't think this would be that fun to play at all. But because you can just chain them together, the cooldown is 4 seconds. The cooldown on this one is 6 seconds. So, like, that's really cool. Whether they leave that, hopefully they do, because that, from my perspective, is a lot of fun. But you never know. Danger. Alright, here we go. Isn't there a wolf? There he is. Let's see if I can just energy burst kill this dude. Yeah.
The lock on the door is broken. Your party has reached the inner stronghold. You hear hobgoblin voices beyond the stronghold door. The guards must be ready for you.
They're ready for us. DDM on the character sheet. Yeah, Dragon Disciple Monk. Yeah, it's just weird for me to see that. I don't know. Are they abbreviating every class now? I didn't think so. For some reason, I think that's a placeholder. They do fire damage, so I'm going to do fire resist. Get my swords, and then we will color spray and energy burst all these. How badass is that? Like, this is what I'm saying. I need to get into ninja and take that extra damage to helpless. I think that I'll just run through and obliterate everything that way. DDM 9 Sora. Okay, so it looks like they did. Yeah. So they're using the 3. That's cool. You're doing Dragon's Disciple, and then WM and SF. I'm not sure what those are. Alright, I only have 6 potions left. Oh, Wild Mage and Sacred Fist. That's cool. Sacred Fist is a lot of fun. Energy Burst, Dragon's Breath. Color spray. Alright, so we were able to get through a lot of that junk really easily. Wonder how easy these side rooms are going to be. Probably bad, because I want to make sure they don't,
An ogre
like,
glowers at you, nostrils flared
hit me with
rage.
anything that
You
can
have
uncenter
found
me.
Gnarl, War Master of Splinter Skull.
Ow. Let's stay away from him.
Gnarl drops a key as he crumples to the floor.
Alright, I've got his key.
This
I only
door
got
is
5
locked and
potions.
unbarred.
Alright, there's
With
4
the right
potions.
key, it should open.
And I have 10 casts on my Cure Light Wound wand, so that means I could probably get off 1. There's 1. Oh, I got off 2. We're already doing better than statistically we should be. See if I can get a 3rd. We got a 3rd. Two left. Can we get 1 more? 1 left. Nope. Oh, man. Alright.
A thunderous howl
Hello,
splits
everybody.
the air. You have found War Master Krug, but he is no hobgoblin.
I got hit by somebody. Oh, gotta get out of this area. I have not gotten, like, uncentered, but I'm like I'm one hit away from being uncentered.
As Krug falls, something small and metal clatters to the ground. A key.
All right, there we go. 3 potions left. The trick to doing this, if you run into the left or straight, you die, right? Like it's a one shot, pretty much, unless you have like really good PRR. But you can hug the wall on the right and just run through. And pretty much good all the way. You missed that spike. The shrine is right there if you need it. I don't think we're gonna mess around with the shrine. I'll do one more potion.
Grand chamber. You have found the heart of Splinter
I've still got 40, so I'm just
room.
gonna basically like spam my key casts here, try to get this dude dead.
The hate drains
There we
from
go.
Yarkich's eyes as he sags to the ground. The chieftain of Splinter Skull is slain.
Yay, we did it. We're not gonna do the side rooms. We used to do them back in the day. Pretty good though. I wasn't sure I'd be able to
The
do this without
hobgoblins
any
here
gear.
do not seem hostile. In fact, their chief beckons you closer.
Did we get anything good? We're not doing hand wraps. I think anything I use except for the swords that I'm using here, the Shadow Blades, would uncenter me. I'm already wearing the starter version of the Black Wolf skin belt there. +3 strength with the yellow slot. Those aren't bad, actually, considering that was one of the main issues I was having, was I just kept getting drained of all my strength. So that actually is sort of like a viable... But obviously, like, everybody's go-to for this is these visor. I think in my bank I have one of those trinkets that gives you the Death Ward 10-minute cast, so I'm not going to take this because I have a feeling I'd just delete it. Devotion Null is not really good for our build because that's positive negative. We're not undead. I don't see any good sort of like monk robe. Nullification is not good. I don't understand why they have a nullification necklace and a nullification ring. That's very strange. Like, this gear needs to be updated, I think. Because the other thing too is like nobody really wears half plate. Like, there's way better other things that you could wear. I remember at one point this chainmail was pretty good, but like that's going way back. This helm used to be something that was good back in the day because you could get intelligence and charisma, but like now at level 5 +1 is so low, it's not worth taking that. I think, yeah, like probably the best thing for me right now, just because of like the issue that I was hitting, is the gloves, the strength on the gloves. So that's like massive for us, right? Because now if we get hit by one of those things, I'm not going to be uncentered so quick. Our hit points are really low. Our stats are pretty low, although monks are pretty tough. We just have no PRR, so we're rocking evasion. We just have to make sure like we focus gear that like gets us reflex saves, because we do have evasion. And then all this stuff, I'm just gonna sell it. We'll check it just to make sure nothing is super cool. I bought these potions. I'll put those in the guild bank and I'll sell that. Yeah, see, like this engraved ring, protection for +1, that's garbage. I'm not going to get rid of the striding boots. Armor class, like this robe is garbage as well. It gives me +1 concentration, so I'm still wearing like the founder's helm. Like my gear is just garbage. So that's what I should do. I should go to the bank and see if I have anything. Keep the key bolt, proc, draconic incarnation, mantle, damage over time, scales on both melee and spell power. 4 dot ticks can be large. Yeah, that's cool, man. I think there's a lot here that can be done synergizing different aspects of like Epic Destinies with what's going on in this. Let's go. Let's go to the bar. But so far, this is super fun. Like, I wouldn't be... Normally, I don't focus archetype lives on my main because I already have completionist, but, like, I don't know what the past lives are for this, but this is fun enough that I could see playing it for 3 lives on my main. Easy, pretty easy, yeah. It also is really sort of a massive W for Monk in general, just because I think Monk is super fun, so it's like nice to have another reason to play it. All right, so let's see what I have for like level 2 to level 7 in my bank. All right, looks like that is what I have in my bank. That's level 2 to level 7. I'm just gonna destroy all this old junk and hope that I have gear. That's all the starter stuff is gone. I'm gonna keep this ring though, because the ring will keep me alive. So I have death block on those goggles. That's pretty good. The crude bauble is good because it will give me fort and the lesser false life that I was getting from my founder's helm. So now my fortification is at 30. Cloak of Winter is an absolute awesome item. It's one of the best that you can get at this level. Oh, you know what? Well, I'm not charisma, but I'm gonna swap that for this because it gives me charisma, which will help with those wand casts, but it gives me permanent heroism. So attack, saving throw, skill checks, and then it also has a master's gift slotted, so I'll get the buff there. True Seeing, Command, Insight, Fort. This is a really like strong ring, so there's that. And it has water breathing, so I threw out my trinket, so I don't need to worry about that. I could wear those robes that would give me ghostly. I'm gonna see if I have anything for... This is the skullduggery cap that I was talking about that has Death Ward on it. And because that's wisdom +3, I'm gonna wear that because that'll buff my wisdom. We'll do this. So now I've got a 3-piece Feywild. The Duskbone, don't really need that, but we'll keep that on deck. That may be better to go for the Diabolist, although Diabolist is only charisma and intelligence, but it does give me spell points, evoke, which I'm doing the evoke magic, right? And it gives me the demonic shield, which gives me temporary hit points, so that is an option. Corrosion, quality corrosion, conjuration, and then the meta magic extend. Like, that ring is okay. I do like the acid, obviously, but I won't really benefit from anything else, and I don't have the other parts of that set bonus. We're definitely going to wear these goggles. These goggles are like +4 whiz. They give us haste. Why not? I could do a Pendant of the Sky. That's Devotion, Radiance, Nullification. That's, aside from this Insightful Spell Focus, I think keeping this, because this comes with High Spirits, this neck piece has an immunity built in that makes us, we're under the effect of something called good spirits, which we are unbothered by the world around us and immune to exhaustion. The thing that was uncentering me in the last couple of quests was being exhausted by those hobgoblins. Casters were casting Ray of Enfeeblement and stuff on me that was like exhausting me. So I'm almost positive that would make me immune to it. I might be wrong, but it's still, like it's a direction that we're thinking about going. Dodge and speed, obviously, that's what I want, so we'll wear those. I could obviously focus on these thorn boots with the +4 wisdom and all the extra buffs, and I would get bloody thorns, although I'm not doing anything nature related, so I wouldn't get that buff, but I want the speed boost, at least until I get like a diamond or some other piece of gear that has a speed boost on it. This is an absolutely super godly item for anybody at low level doing spell casting, because what's going to happen whenever I trigger this black dragon, it's going to hit me with a haste spell. So like there's a chance on every spell cast that it hits me. So if we read it, if I kill an enemy, it has a chance to hit me with a ferocious rage, which grants me the benefit of a haste. And that killing an enemy is any way I kill it, whether I hit it with a sword or whether I cast a spell on it, and it's every single mob that's killed. So if I'm like surrounded, I would get like 5 chances at getting that black scale ferocity to proc, and it usually procs all the time. And so then in a low heroics running around hasted is super strong. The relentless fury is good, the armor piercing is good, but I find that the ferocity on this item is better. I also have that slotted with a quick move item, which will give me quick draw, which as like a caster magic user doing like wand, like it's going to help me to do all that stuff faster. Con, I want to wear these gloves, however I don't want to lose my strength buff at the moment, so I want to try to find something. I kind of probably should wear these wisdom +5 gloves, to be honest, because my build is wisdom, but let's see what else we have. Oh, that's the last page. All right, so I have a crown of snow. The crown of snow would help us to proc our maximum damage on all those spell casts because we would have spell focus. Cerulean Wave would proc on all of our spell casts, even though they're key, right? So the only issue is right now, like that's giving me wisdom, but I don't think I need it because, yeah, I don't. So I can use the Crown of Snow. So that's good. Looks like the only robe I have is the ship mage. So that's cool. We'll wear that. And then I think I might get rid of the troll ring and use this duskbone instead. So now we have 7 pieces. Do I even have bracers? I don't think that I own bracers, no. I've got a 14 strength. If I take that off, it goes to 11. And then if I... So what I need to do is like get a diamond of strength for these gloves, really. Because that looks really, really good. The other thing I could do if I don't want a 22 con is I could go for this, which would give me a 28 wisdom. Although, I think that at this low level, these would be like way better. So what I could do... I'm actually going to save that troll ring because they're kind of hard to find. Just in case. I don't think I have a diamond of strength, the low level diamond of strength, but I might. Oh God, I have a bazillion diamonds. Do I have a low level strength though? Yes, I have one. Oh, I have a bunch of... I don't know how I got all these, man. Like, but we'll slot it. It's only +1. But it's something. It helps. It gets us to a 12. All right, that's fine. That's good. The other thing we could do, if you didn't have a diamond or access to get, like, to buy one or find one or loot one, we could, because we have an empty slot, we could go to this here and get our wrists and then just cap the level and see what is available, like level 5 to level 7. So there's Death Block Tumble. There's a strength item right there. Death Block Con. There's strength. I already have Death Block, so I don't really need it. So what we really want is like strength 3 or higher. So that's a +2 strength. Fire resist is good. There's a +4 strength. So that actually is the winner. So we'll get that unless there's something else that's better. Doesn't look like it. Oh, there's 3 with Fort 50. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna get those. That fort will help us a lot. And, like I said, we don't really need the high strength. We just want a little bit of a buff to it. But so now our fort's 95 and our strength is 14. That's really good. Super cool. We've got over 200 hit points now, which is still kind of low for level 7, but I'm gonna drag all this stuff into the... Okay. All right, that's good. All good. All right, if we look at our effective hit points are 300. We've got incorporeality, concealment, dodge 22 is really good. So what we need to do is focus. I've got 4 points. I could snag blur right here. That probably isn't a bad idea. Let's see what else I have access to. I could also blast up my wisdom, so I could take a point in wisdom to get it to an even number. So I'm not going to worry about being centered because it costs 35 key, and I'm trying to make an energy burst build. I'm not going to worry about imbue. I'm not going to worry about fortitude. I'm not going to worry about that. So we definitely want to take, yeah, we want this universal because that will apply shaken to anything that we hit with our breath weapon. So that's really good. So I think for my overall survivability, I'm going to do blur here. And then wisdom here. For now. So now I've got an even number. And if I look at my defenses, I've got 10%, 20%, 22%. I mean, that's really good. My effective hit points now is almost 400, which is double like my actual hit points. So that's, it's really good. My spell casting, yeah, I can work on getting my DCs up, but 4 is okay. It means my save on my color spray is at 30 right now, which is pretty decent for level 7. So we're going to try to do like a super hard quest at this level. I'm going to go to House P. I just need to buy potions before we do that. It would be nice to buy a wand as well. So now we're in a much different situation. Now I'm running with a full Feywild set bonus. And I need to swap out those spells. All right, I have, yeah, we're gonna cap these all up. So I have 10, 10, and then let's get some lesser restorations. We'll buy 20 of those since they will probably save our life. I'm immune to fear. I don't have a source of blindness immunity, so I'm going to buy 3. And then I might buy like 50 aid potions here. If I had access to the other vendor, I might buy haste. Okay, so... Alright, there's a buff. You know what else I need? I need spell components. I'm not sure that these low-level divine sell... Do they? Oh, they do. Okay, so there's the ranger. But they don't have level 2 here, which I need. I don't think I can access any of these because I'm not in a guild, right? No. That's too bad. Alright, we're getting rid of that altogether. And I don't really need to worry about imbue, but I'm going to take it anyway, just because it's probably the best thing I can take here. Yeah, I mean, having jump would be cool too. Increases run speed by 15%. I don't think that stacks with my 15% boots, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm going to get jump. Okay. There is a magic store right here. See if they sell anything useful for me. Alright, divine reagents. See if they have my... They do. Buy 1,000. Right? So now I should be able to cast them. Yes, I can. Okay, perfect. Let's see if this potion vendor has anything that might help me out. The Cure Serious would be nice. Don't think I'll need disease removal potions, but I might as well buy them just to have them. Oh, let's... All right, there we go. All right, that looks good. All right, so we're off to House P. I'm not going to get a, Yep, have a good night, man. Not going to get a hireling, although I probably should, because I have a feeling this is going to be really difficult, but... We're going to see how well we do without a hireling. And what do you guys think? Are you enjoying the Dragon Disciple? I think overall I'm like surprised. Do I try it on R1? Of course we do. I have no Reaper points. I have whatever. But I'm in.
Dank water drips on you from the moss hanging above.
You know, altogether, it's not terrible, like, damage. I have a feeling it's going to be very tricky if I get surrounded, but we're gonna try our best here. Gotta kill that Fear Reaper. Oh, the champion just hit me with a massive debuff. Okay, I'm taking damage from the Fear Reaper is what's killing me. And that champion caster right there really needs to die. Hey, we turned him to ice. Nice. Alright, I have almost 30 key now, so that should be good enough to deal with any issue. I forgot to get wands, so I'm just gonna have to, like, do my best with the potions. Wow, they hit so hard on Reaper. It's so crazy. Oh, that completely failed to hit. I did a, like a color spray, but it didn't even fire off. There it is. Oh, I have to really watch out for that champ. Wow. he's just obliterating me with that bow and arrow. Dude, I'm gonna die. I'm at -9. So Reaper was a bad idea on a tomb with no Reaper points. Oh, I'm at -10. What's my negative range must be -15 because of the guild buffs. But without that ring I had on, I'm not going to auto-stabilize. Yeah, I'm just going to probably bleed out. And once I get up, I have to color spray him immediately. And if I fail, he'll probably kill me. That's the plan. That's what we're going to try. I'm going to try... I think this is the worst decision of my life, though, to come in here on Reaper. Because we're just bleeding out on the floor now. Give me one shot. Let me stabilize. This is it. One more fail roll and I'm dead. And we're gonna come back on an elite. So there's no way I'll be able to get through the city. Yeah, there's no way. With no gear that does that regenerate. Regenerate is such a great ability. Like it's too bad it's not on more low level gear. It's really just that ring. There might be one other thing that has it on it. But that's why I saved that ring, because it really is useful to have. Probably should bind myself to Salt Marsh. For giggles. The good news is, for you guys who didn't get a bottle of mist, the rumor on the street is the Lamortia expansion, the smaller expansion that's coming out later this year. They have hinted at a bottle of mist might be part of the bundle that you can buy for the order of that. So that's cool. I personally, like, I want it to be something different, but because I already have a bottle of mist, but I understand I can be like a team player for the community. I know there's a lot of people who didn't get it who want it, so that's fine with me. Oh, actually, I completely forgot. I don't have a heal. That is so dumb. Like, I actually need to buy bacon, not broccoli juice. Oh, there's no concentration items? It's definitely going to require some research into how to min-max this in order to get my key generation up above 0. Because I have 21 concentration right now. Like, that seems really high for this level, right? Like, so I would imagine it should be more than 0, but I don't know enough about Monk. I thought that this... Okay, that's weapon strikes generate 2 key. Like, that's super cool. That's why we keep whacking stuff, but I kind of hope that there's something built in here that gives us like a passive keygen. I know in epics I can get a passive keygen. This comes with a Dragon Apotheosis activation that costs 100 key. We take 50% less damage from elemental stuff, +2 to all of our ability scores, immunity to sleep paralysis. We get improved crit range. And then 5% crit damage on spells. Acolyte, Breath, and Devastation deal double damage. It has a 2-minute cooldown. It lasts for 20 seconds. That's a lot of key. It gives an Imbue +3 passive, Wisdom 4 passive, Melee, Universal Spell Power passive, and then it also comes with a +10 max caster level for the Draconic and Lesser Draconic the burst. So like I am thinking about doing a burst build, right? Like this, my build is basically going to be a no mercy burst build, right? So we color spray and then we energy burst with back-to-back energy burst. So that's really good that this capstone will blast that up that caster level up. I'm wondering too if they decided to put in anything in the Epic Destiny, like or the Epic feats that will buff that, kind of how they have like Master of the Wilds, Master of Magic. Like, I wonder if they have anything for Monk. Guess we'll see once we get there. All right, we're going to go back to House P and get vengeance for our Reaper 1 death. It was overly bold of us to try, but we just wanted to get a sense of where the ceiling was, you know? So, like, the damage was okay. I killed a bunch of stuff, but dealing with the champion who get the damage boost, it's just not, my defenses aren't high enough. So, but we did kill a Reaper, we did kill a whole room full of stuff. Like, it wasn't a complete fail. Like, it worked well. It's just we need the extra survivability from min-maxing more, or maybe doing this build on like a TR character that could survive. You know, if I had like 30 Reaper points, that probably would have felt a lot different than it did, right? Like, I have 0 Reaper points on this character, so. But this is level 9 on Elite. We're level 7, so technically this is, you know, we're doing this at like Elite Streak level, so.
Dank water drips on you from the moss hanging above.
The damage is still consistently like a couple hundred. And I don't have Empower yet. I have Maximize. I'm hoping that goes up to like 300 if I empower it. All right, we've got 60 key. That's really good. We should be good to go now.
Just steps ahead of you, an open shaft descends into water. Paths continue further to the north and west.
Yeah, for some reason that dude was hard to damage.
Moss frames the entrance to a large room with a lone bridge, the perfect location for an ambush.
I don't want to get... I've already got like a debuff on me, so... I'm going to try to like range some of this stuff before I go in there, just so I'm not getting tagged by everything. Alright, and I need to switch to water. So the built-in imbue die are actually pretty cool. Technically could have just killed that dude like up top, because I'm going up top anyway, but Alright, we need color spray. I'm gonna try to color spray this dude. We might as well just burn him down with our swords. Make some key. Hey, we got a face of the demon. That's named loot, so the holiday buff is working.
You round the corner to find another large room. This one filled with
should I just run in
platforms.
here? Probably. Okay. Mission accomplished. Now we go for a swim. I can't wait though to get like it would be way more fun if I had all the other monk stuff like the abundant step, like that really, and the speed boost for the monk normally. It's just so cool. So yeah, it's like 100 200 damage. So I'm hoping that there's a way that we can like really reliably blast that damage up, because it may be like in low heroics the energy burst works really well, but it may be that like it doesn't last into epics. So we really have to like test it out, make a character that goes all the way up to level 34 and then tries doing a bunch of energy bursts and see what the damage is. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. Hopefully it scales. I think getting that caster level increase from the capstone would definitely help. You know, things in heroics have a lot less hit points than they do in epics and legendaries, so while it may seem like a couple hundred damage in heroics is a lot, in epics and legendaries, like, we need to do thousands of damage, otherwise it's just a waste. Like, think about it, our epic strike can do like 10 to 30,000 damage depending on how you're spec'd, right? So
A pipe waits at the end of this hole, presumably descending further into the depth.
but this is kind of fun. I might, if I can't salvage my my monk thrower, I might just make
As
her
you emerge from
into.
the pipe, you find yourself in a cavern instead of the
I
familiar
might do that
sewers.
as a video
You
for
must
this
be getting
Friday.
close to the village of Arzag Kor.
I might respec my monk thrower as this build that I'm doing right now, and so we can see what it's like at level 34. You know, we can see if it's viable. Does the damage stay? Is it, you know, is it garbage? We'll try it out. I think that's what I'll do. That'll be a good stream, so I'll do that Friday. Friday usually try to start
The
streaming
caves
around
continue
like
to twist and
6 or 7.
Many intertwining footprints suggest that the Hobgoblin village is nearby.
And you know what I'm gonna do, because he's talking a lot in this one. I'm gonna turn off the narrator for this. The other thing too is like, oh, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm kind of excited about that now because if I can come up with a build, you know, like an energy burst, bouncy bounce build where I'm just basically ping-ponging with ki generating and I don't have to do any melee attacking. I just have to take a look at the epic destinies because I know, like, Grandmaster of Flowers, if I use the epic strike from Grandmaster of Flowers, that automatically makes like 100 or 150 ki or something like that. So it might be that I go into epic, I go into Grandmaster of Flowers, and then I go into like my other, like I usually do Unyielding Sentinel or Primal Avatar. It may be that I do Draconic Incarnation. Like, I just have to take a look at that. So I'll get basically a build, and then we'll see how it plays. Like, how strong is it in epics, in legendary. And on my thrower, I have like 20, I think, Reaper points or whatever. So, like, I can try it out on R1 and see, you know, what the damage looks like. We wanted to do, like, basically what I just did, where I was able to stun those 4 people and then just hit them with 2 bursts down. Like, that's how I kind of wanted to play in Legendary. So it would be really, really cool if it were doing, you know, like, consistently high damage, so I could just basically blast in like that. And then Dragon Breath stuff, and then, see, I'm just, like, bouncing around and popping that when my key's ready. If I were in epics and I could throw that Orchid Blossom, I just make a whole bunch of key and then just start bouncing around, throwing out more energy burst. So I think that's my first gut feel is like, I think I might go Orchid Blossom. But it could be that the synergy with Draconic Incarnation is so strong that it's worth getting more from that too. So we'll have to see. Oh god, I'm healing him with my my imbue. Oh, I did another imbue for acid. I have to remember not to do acid on flesh golems. Or not flesh, clay. Kinda not worth coming down this side hall, but I usually do. Let's give myself, you know what, we're gonna go with Death Ward here. Since I have it, I'm also gonna buff myself against fire. Alright, so now I have jump, I have my imbue die from this. Alright, elemental weapons. And we're ready to deal with the city. Got plenty of key. Alright, I've got to boogie out of here now. Ah, come on. Is it this dude who's hitting me right here? Or is it this dude? Alright, we're gonna color spray this entire group. Tally, good to see you. Don't do acid clay golems. Yeah, exactly. Bro, these war mages. Ah. There we go. I mean, we're doing pretty well, all things considered. Like, it doesn't feel bad. First life tune, you know. We're in a full Feywild set, so the gear is sort of min-maxed, but not exactly sure. You know, there might be other stuff that we could utilize that's better, because I don't usually save, like, monk-themed gear, so there might be other stuff that we could farm for that would help us out. We've got the Moonstone Shard now. The greatest thing is you can see the economy in the old game when you turn in those shards, because it will give you what used to be a lot back in the day when this quest first came out, and it's like 10 platinum pieces. Like the game used to be on like a silver and gold economy, and then over the years it became like a plat only economy, but things used to be super cheap. So when you would turn them in and get 10 plat, that was like a ton of money. Of course, that's like the first and second year that the game was around. The economy got like blown away not long after, but... Alright, everything looks good. Color spray. Bouncy bounce. Dragon breath. I mean, it's pretty good. It took us a little while longer than I anticipated to kill that warg, but we'll do this again. Color spray. Bounce. Bounce. Dragon breath isn't up yet. Another bounce. Bounce. And then color spray again. And now the dragon breath's up. Okay, and we've got one left. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that went really well. Like, in theory of the build is working pretty well. It's interesting, because I know everybody's going to come up with, like, their own version of what, and I doubt that mine is going to be even on the chart of, like, what a good dragon disciple build is, but I can tell you it's pretty fun. Like, I'm definitely enjoying the gameplay style of it. It's entertaining. I don't feel like it's a chore. I don't feel like I'm there. In other words, like, there's no area where I'm like, I'm not doing anything thinking to myself, that's so stupid. This is like a waste of time. Most of the stuff is just so organically flows together and feels good. Like the way that these lesser and the regular, you can chain them together. The time on the dragon breath is a little slow. However, I think that they kept that dragon breath time similar to other dragon breath times. So 25 seconds. It does give us time to run around and hit stuff with our key weapons, but really the bread and butter of the build is like CCing everything and then bursting it down with our two AoEs. So I kind of feel like Mountain Stance might be the way to go. Like, we are benefiting from Wisdom getting our saving throw boosted, but I kind of feel like at cap probably want to take a look at Mountain just because of all the extra like defensiveness that's built into this. It does give threat gen though, so that's kind of like not good, and we are evading, and it reduces our dexterity, and it also reduces our movement speed. So I might be wrong about that. Oh, here's something though, right? Like strength and then on hit +1 key. So like we could theoretically make our key gen go way up by being in fire stance. I still think overall it's going to be +2 wisdom, +3 dodge, +2 dodge cap, +2 fort, +2 reflex save, +2 will save, and then the only downside is a -2 to our strength. Like water is like way superior to just about everything, I think. Like I said, I also sometimes run in the air one is pretty good, but all right, so this dude collects, and this is what I was saying. We got the moonstone one, right? So we're saying, here's the moonstone. He gives us 10 platinum pieces. Wow. Like you'd think, why would they even have that in the game? It's so stupid. There's another 10 platinum pieces, but I'm telling you, back in the day, 10 platinum pieces was a ton. It was actually worth like turning those in, so. We leveled, so let's go level. Where are we gonna level? We will go and level in a place that nobody goes and levels. Where is that, you might say? Well, out in the salt marsh. They added a random bar you can ride out to. It's not easy to get to at all. You have to actually ride here or walk here or whatever. Why did they add this? I don't know. Some people said because they wanted to have like a unique location, but I don't know. I don't know if anybody ever comes here except for me. I just come here because I think it's pretty silly that it's way out in the middle of the salt marsh. It's not tied to that main bar. Like, in my opinion, this should be like a door in that main bar where you warp in. And we just go through it and click into this training area. But so I am on a monk. We're gonna blast up wisdom. And then concentration, UMD, spellcraft, and then we'll take another jump just because. There we go. You use the salt marsh trainer? Yeah, that's cool. So I'm not the only one.
Where are you going? Hunting for gold that is flowing. Somewhere in the cold world here, there is no knowing. Hey la, oh la la. We love games. There's a standing stone, let's make camp. We love games. Let's make camp and play more games. Hey la, oh la la. We love games. Where are you going? There's no knowing what magic awaits, what evil is growing. Hey